You're listening to Sportly, an Immigrantly media production.
Hey everyone, Parma here, Sportly's producer. We are in the final week of the World Cup, and with the whole country caught up in the excitement of watching sport across borders, bringing cultures together, it felt like exactly the right moment to resurface this episode. Kabaddi 101 Tag Tackle Triumph is our deep dive into sport that has been doing what the World Cup does for soccer. Building something global out of something deeply rooted in Asian culture. And it's happening right now. A brand new Kabaddi league just launched in Europe in 2026. And teams from across Asia, India, Iran, South Korea, Japan, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and more are gearing up for the Asian Games in the fall. So if you have no idea what Kabaddi is and have never given it a proper look, this is your episode. Kavitha will be back with a brand new episode next week. Here's the show.
Adrenaline coursing through his veins, Sanjeeva Kumar stands facing a group of 7 steely-eyed men. Dressed in matching jerseys, each man settles into a crouching position. His knees are bent, ready to pounce at any moment. It's November 2004, the final match of the first ever Kabaddi World Cup. India leads Iran 27-12. With just 20 minutes left in the match, Kumar hopes to widen India's lead, leading the team to victory. Taking a deep breath, the young attacker launches himself across the field center line and into Iran's side of the court. Kabaddi, 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 he yells. He inches towards the wall of 7 men, their eyes trained intently on Kumar as they wait for his attack. In the blink of an eye, Kumar darts toward the group, reaching out to tap one of the men before quickly turning to make a break back across the center line. He makes it halfway to the line before someone catches his ankle, yanking Kumar down toward the ground. Kabaddi, 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 he exclaims, with all of his remaining breath, prying himself free. He pushes himself up off the rubber mat and across the center line just in time. He lands across the line with a thud as the crowd roars with excitement, several fans jumping to their feet. In a remarkable 30-second play, Kumar has managed to score yet another point for India. Hey everyone, it's Kavitha Davidson, and welcome to another episode of Sportly. Each week, we discuss lesser-known sports history, iconic events, notable athletes, and impactful moments on and off the field. Moments that, all too often, fall to the sidelines of history. Today, we're going to talk about a sport that, if you're from the Western world, you might not have heard of before: Kabaddi. The name Kabaddi comes from a Tamil word composed of kai and pidi, meaning hand catch. Originating in India, the sport combines the zone play of American football, the takedowns of wrestling, the techniques of martial arts, and the tag-based nature of playground running games all into one. Now, Indians have played Kabaddi for centuries, some think as far back as 4,000 years ago. But in recent years, the game has gone international, spreading to countries like Bangladesh, South Korea, and Germany. Just a few weeks ago, fans worldwide tuned into the 2025 Kabaddi World Cup, the 4th ever men's tournament and the 2nd ever for women. So, how do you play Kabaddi? Well, think of the sport as a sort of complex, high-contact form of tag. In the standard style, 2 teams of 7 players line up on either side of a small field. Each team takes a turn sending a solo attacker into the opponent's side of the field. They call this player the Raider. The Raider now has 30 seconds to tag as many opponents as they can and make it back across the midline into safe territory without being tackled. For each player the Raider tags, the attacking team gains a point, and the players that get tagged are out. But if the Raider gets tackled and fails to escape the hold, Then they're out and the defending team gains a point instead. Kabaddi is incredibly physical. Raiders will fight tooth and nail to get just a single hand over the midline. And often that means trying to break free of the grasps of several players at the same time. Here's Quentin Smith, a journalist.
7 people is a lot of people. It's actually more people than you can keep in your vision and peripheral vision at one point, except you have to do exactly that, because the moment you lose sight of someone, they're going to get behind you and pick you up like a piece of overconfident furniture.
But here's the real kicker. As if 7 versus 1 wasn't difficult enough, the Raider has to do all of this, cross into enemy territory, tag as many defenders as possible, and cross back without getting tackled, all within one single breath. Yep, that's an actual rule of the game. Now, you might ask, how is something like a breathing rule even enforced? And would a referee actually be able to tell if a Raider has inhaled or not? Stop the play, I think I heard someone wheeze. Well, Kabaddi's got a unique solution for that. Remember that anytime a Raider attacks, they have only 30 seconds. During that brief period, they must continually chant, Kabaddi, 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 over and over again. If the Raider stops chanting for even a second, maybe to take a breath, they're out. This sounds pretty difficult, right? It's not easy to do, even while sitting down. So imagine running, ducking, and strategizing at the same time.
On the far side, right corner. That's what he's targeting. Falls for him. There he goes. Oh, he does it. Oh, he does it. Would you believe me, you rockstar?
Dong Gyeon Lee may have just won the game for Bengaluru.
More about the mechanics of the game. In Kabaddi, the number of players in play is constantly in flux. Every time a player gets tagged, captured, or breaks a rule, they're out. But every time a team scores a point, they regain one player. And while the game might seem pretty straightforward, this is no simple game of tag. Defenders and Raiders are both simultaneously vulnerable and threatening at the same time. So a game like this requires strategy. Let's start with the offense. They have a lot of moves at their disposal. In the most basic approach, a Raider can use a turning hand touch. That means stretching out to touch a defender before darting back across the line. Or they could try a toe touch, ducking low to escape the defender's hands while using their feet to tag them. More complex foot techniques involve a number of different kicks, including side, scorpion, front, and mule kicks. It's in these moments that you may begin to wonder if you've accidentally wandered into a martial arts competition instead of a complicated game of tag. But maybe the most complex attack? The frog jump. Here, the Raider launches themselves over the defenders, just like a professional leapfrog jumper, using their hands to propel themselves off of their opponents toward safety.
Boy, oh boy! Incredible athleticism from an incredible Raider. Look at his...
In the process of leaping off their backs, the Raider also tags the defenders at the same time. Now, defensive play is also quite strategic. Remember that the defender's goal is to prevent the Raider from tagging them and running back across the midline. First, there's the cautionary approach, simply running away from the Raider until they run out of breath or time. Another approach, baiting the Raider, basically luring them in so that your team can tackle and restrain them.
We're talking about, he walked right into the trap.
This aggressive defensive strategy, while frequently used, ultimately carries greater risk. If the Raider is able to touch even a single finger back over the midline, every defender they've touched, including those currently pinning them down, is automatically out, and several points are lost. But this approach could also have a large payoff. In this approach, many defenders often choose to hold hands, creating a wall of defense to block off the raider or even trap them for the tackle. And tackle techniques include everything from a knee, ankle, thigh, arm, or wrist catch to a complete body tackle, pinning the raider down. While the exact origins of this game are uncertain, one theory predominates. Some say that the roots of Kabaddi come from the ancient Indian epic, the Mahabharata. Believed to be the longest poem ever written, the Mahabharata tells the story of the Kurukshetra War taking place some 5,000 years ago. According to the story, the war arose from a dynastic struggle between two groups of cousins, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, over the Indian throne of the city of Hastinapur. Now, the Kauravas used a unique 7-layer defensive formation of soldiers. Known as the Chakravyuh, this formation loosely translates as the spinning wheel puzzle. Think of a circular maze with a complex labyrinth of defensive layers in constant motion, rapidly changing around intruders who seek to chart their way to the center. When enemy soldiers were drawn into the formation's maze-like interior, they were either trapped and killed or wildly disoriented. The Pandavas were left feeling exasperated and defeated. They concluded that penetrating all 7 layers of the maze was nearly impossible. Enter Abhimanyu, son of Arjuna, the third Pandava brother. As the story goes, Abhimanyu learned the art of warfare from the Hindu god Krishna while in his mother's womb. And from the art of warfare, he learned the secret to penetrating all 7 layers of the Chakravyuh. Armed with Krishna's knowledge and confident determination, Abhimanyu vowed to enter the Chakravyuh, quote, as a moth might enter a blazing fire. The young warrior plunged into the maze, winding his way through the formation with speed and grace, inflicting irreparable damage on the enemy army with every turn. Before he knew it, he had made it to the center of the formation, surpassing all 7 layers of defense. But then things took a turn for the worse. As Abhimanyu began his journey back out of the maze, he started to draw a blank. He couldn't, for the life of him, remember how to get out. It seemed the knowledge that Krishna gifted him with was incomplete, and Abhimanyu was doomed to fail. He frantically darted through the maze, aimlessly taking turn after turn, only to find himself right back where he started. Before long, the young warrior was killed by enemy soldiers, and his heroic attempt came crashing down in a fiery blaze. Despite Abhimanyu's fateful end, it is believed that the story of this 5,000-year-old war may very well have served as inspiration for the game of Kabaddi, one warrior plunging into a 7-layer defense. So that's one origin story. But there's also another. Some people claim that Kabaddi comes from the traditional bull taming event of Jallikattu. Tamil Sangam literature, the earliest literature from South India, suggests that the raider takes on the role of the bull. Either way, Kabaddi clearly has incredible cultural significance for many regions of India, with deep and even religious roots. Some say that Gautam Buddha himself played Kabaddi. For thousands of years, the game was played by children, teenagers, and adults alike on dirt and mud fields in rural India. Kabaddi doesn't require equipment. No balls or pucks, no nets, sticks are necessary. So the game was, and still largely is, accessible to all. The sport's basic rules were officially formalized in India in the early 20th century. And since then, the game has evolved a lot, gradually making its way into the international spotlight. In 1936, Kabaddi made its international debut as a demonstration sport in the Berlin Summer Olympic Games.
Berlin's great day dawns with the arrival of the Olympic flame at the end of it.
And still, it took several decades to catch on abroad. The Kabaddi Federation of India formed in 1950 and soon after organized the first national championships for men. Just a few years later, it did the same for women. In the early 70s, the sport became the national game of the newly independent Bangladesh, referred to as Hadudu. National Kabaddi teams first began to compete in the Asian Games in the 90s. Soon after, India held its first official Kabaddi World Cup for men in 2004, creating a second tournament for women in 2012. But the biggest development came in 2014. Up until that point, Kabaddi really didn't have any commercial aspirations. And, as journalist Quinton Smith points out, having commercial aspirations can make all the difference.
When sports require equipment or space or training, the game becomes aspirational. The players become sources of interest, and the sport can accrue money and glamour that businessmen can then reinvest back into marketing the sport.
But remember, in Kabaddi there's no equipment. Again, no balls or pucks or nets, which is both good and bad.
This then means it's played everywhere, like tag or hide and seek, which means it's the opposite of aspirational, which means there's no money in it.
Noticing Kabaddi's growing popularity, Indian billionaire Anand Mahindra launched the Pro Kabaddi League, or PKL. But for his league to succeed, he needed to infuse the sport with glamour. It needed to look profitable and expensive. So his team hired a stylist. The players got fashionable haircuts and flashy uniforms, and their dirt fields were replaced by brightly colored rubber mats. E. Prasad Rao, the league's technical director, said that Mahindra changed the game.
Pro Kabaddi has brought the game rural, rustic, whatever you say, poor man's game. Today it has become a rich man's game.
If you're familiar with the Indian Premier League for cricket, the PKL follows a similar structure. City-based franchises are made up of the world's best Kabaddi players, each bought through a mega auction. And they all compete for a monetary prize, 3 crores or roughly $350,000 US. The league contains 12 teams, each made up of 18 to 24 players. League players come from a whole host of Asian countries, including South Korea, Thailand, and Bangladesh. Again, here's PKL's technical director, Rao.
Today we are claiming to be one of the Olympic sport from Asia, not as an Indian sport, it is an Asian sport. So we are knocking the doors of the Olympics.
After its formation, PKL matches started broadcasting on Star TV India for all to see. And it was an instant success. 435 million people tuned in to watch the PKL's inaugural broadcast season. Today, the Professional Kabaddi League is the second most watched televised sporting event in India, behind cricket. Tune into a match, and you'll see colorful mascots bounce across the stadium, pumping up a crowd of thousands, while at least a dozen cameras film for the rest of the country to see. The sport has come a long way from its early days, when groups of local children playfully tackled one another into the dirt, concerned not with flash or glamour, but rather with a strong desire for some good old-fashioned competition. We're back where we started, the 2004 Kabaddi World Cup.
The Chief Minister of Maharashtra State, Mr. Vilasrao Deshmukh, himself a keen sportsperson, inaugurated and welcomed the teams from all over the world.
12 teams gather for the opening ceremony, among them India, Canada, Thailand, the West Indies, Germany, the United Kingdom, Malaysia, and Japan.
The venue was a splash of colors.
Spectators look on as the teams march through the venue, proudly waving their respective national flags high in the air. And the air is thick with excitement, the ceremony lively. After 3 days of intense matches, only India and Iran remain, facing off against each other in the heated final. Sanjeeva Kumar, remember his daring play from the start of the episode? He leads India to victory, 55-27. Kumar is crowned the player of the tournament, scoring 17 of these points in just 16 raids. In each and every World Cup since, including both men and women's standard-style tournaments, India has won over and over again. And every time, they've beaten Iran in the finals. In the 2025 tournament, which wrapped up just recently in Wolverhampton, England, both the men and women's Indian teams once again took home the gold. But this time, there was a slight twist. Both those teams took on England in the final match.
Never anticipated. England should be beyond proud of themselves, but India, my goodness, take a bow, proving why you are truly the pros within this sport.
Perhaps one of the oldest sports in the world, Kabaddi has changed a lot over the years, especially in the last century. And to this day, the sport continues to play an important role in local communities across India. As one sports commentator notes, it's part of the glue that binds the country together.
Kabaddi is more than just a sport here. It's a way of life. It brings people together. The cheers of the spectators, the cries of the raiders, and the tackles of the defenders create a symphony.
For tribal girls in Western India's Maharashtra, the region's first all-girls Kabaddi club has sparked immense hope and opportunity. While the club faced deep-rooted gender stereotypes following its foundation 15 years ago, because of Kabaddi, young women from the area have been provided with the opportunity to travel the world. Some players have gone on to join state teams, reaching financial independence and social mobility they could have never dreamed of before. Kabaddi, these women say, has inspired them to follow their dreams. And who would have thought that a traditional sport created over 4,000 years ago is now breaking down barriers and ushering in a new era? Thanks so much for tuning into Sportly. Tune in next week and every week after as we dive into another great story. And if you have thoughts or suggestions for a topic you'd like me to cover, I'd love to hear from you. Please feel free to email me at kavitha@immigrantlypod.com. If typing a long email isn't your thing, you can record and attach a voice memo to your message. And who knows, I could read or play it in one of the upcoming episodes. Sportly is an Immigrantly media production. This episode was produced by Sadia Khan and Shay Yu. Our associate producer is Andrea Koskay, written by Emmanuel Monahan, Liz Mack, and me, Kavitha Davidson. Research assistance by Suhasini Patni. Our sound designer and editor is Paroma Chakravarti. Our theme music was created by Simon Hutchinson. Other music by Epidemic Sound. Tune back in next week and every week after for more Sportly.